Welcome to Camp Podcast Special Edition. I am pianist Migo and I serve as president of the Contemporary Art Music Project, or CAMP. CAMP is an organization that promotes innovative art music and collaborates with composers and performing artists. One of many activities we do is our podcast series. Our hosts explore a wide range of topics from marginalized composer in music history to current collaborations. Please make sure you are subscribed to Camp Podcasts to enjoy Lost to Time, Play the Ink, Piano Talk, Korean Art Music Project Camp, Camp Podcast Special Edition, and more. Our annual International Festival CAMPGround 23 is just around the corner. Tampa's one and only new music festival takes place in Tampa Bay area from March 16 to 18. We host 28 selected composers and 16 renowned performers and collaborate with Tampa City Ballet. Get your tickets now. Go to contemporaryartmusicproject.org. Tonight, I am your host, and I am thrilled to talk with the founder and director of Tempus Projects, Tracy Midulla. Tempus Projects recently settled down in historic Kress building in Ybor City. Camp is very excited to open our festival at the Tempus Projects new location on March 16. Hi, Tracy. Welcome, and thank you so much for being here with me.
Hi, thank you for having me. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, we usually start with an easy question, and I also am very curious about you and how long you lived in Tampa. And I think I read somewhere that you have this family history in Tampa, so we would like to hear about that.
Sure. I was born and raised in Tampa. I am the fourth generation of women in my family actually to work in Ybor City. So I've been here my whole life, born and raised. And I left for art school. I went to Atlanta for 4 years, and then I went to graduate school in Tallahassee. And then I moved back to Tampa for a job. So I've been here ever since.
Wow, great. Yeah, so four generation in Ybor.
Yes.
Very interesting. You must know a lot about Ybor City.
I know enough. I know enough. I'm certainly not an expert. For 22 years, I worked at Hillsborough Community College. If you are familiar with the geography of Ybor, you know that HCC is in the northwest corner of Ybor. They were kind of tucked away back there, but yeah, been in Ybor on and off throughout my whole life.
Yeah, so did you have family house in Ybor City?
No, never lived in Ybor, but like I said, my mother worked for my grandfather in Ybor. So after school, many days after school, I would go to the cigar business where they worked. And so I spent many afternoons.
Wow, so the family was in cigar business or working in the cigar business?
Yes, my grandparents and I believe one of my great grandparents, both of my great grandparents on my mother's side were cigar rollers. So we were in that industry for quite some time. And then my mother was in sales for my grandfather when he took over the business.
I see. Wow, that's interesting. Yeah, that's really cool. Yeah. And obviously, our listeners would like to know about Tempus Projects because our first event of this year's festival will happen at the Tempus Projects. And yeah, what the Tempus Project is and how you started this, and probably the history of Tempus Projects.
Sure, I'm happy to share that. Tempus Projects is an art nonprofit. We function primarily as an exhibition space. However, in recent years, we have been branching out quite a bit to host events, artist talks, living room concerts, film nights, and workshops. And we're in our 13th year. You know, we came out of a previous nonprofit that I ran called Five Art. It was around for about 6 years, and we were doing the same programming but smaller. And I had a board member that got involved that helped me to death. And so I resigned from that nonprofit and restarted from scratch with Tempus. And it's been a really positive and exciting 13 years. We just moved into the Kress. It wasn't our expected destination, but it has been a really positive move for us. And now that we are here, we have our main gallery is broken into a large space and a medium-sized space. And then we have a small project gallery called Tempus Volta. And in addition to that, we just started programming an independent curator space. Tempus has been nurturing artists, visual artists, for the last 13 years. And so it seemed like the natural progression of things was to start nurturing curators and other special projects. So we have Drift Independent Curator Space. And the one other thing to share would be that we are getting ready to restart our residency program, where we have visual artists and writers and composers from all over the country, and sometimes out of the country, come to Tempus and stay with us for anywhere between 2 and 8 weeks to produce new works. And at the end of that stay, they either exhibit or share or debut or perform those works. So we're very excited to be here. It's a really incredible collaborative building. We're in here with at least a dozen other organizations, and the upstairs, the third floor, will already does, but will house even more private art studios. So it's really turning into a really beautiful collective space.
Oh, great. It's really exciting. And we have a lot of musician listeners and composers who listen to our show, performers and composers, and they would definitely love to know more about the residency program and if they can apply for the program. Is there any way to get that information?
The best way to get that information once it's available again to the public would be to visit us, visit our website, and that's tempus-projects.com, and join the mailing list. We are still waiting for the construction on the tiny little apartment to finish up. They're renovating a bathroom for us. And as soon as that's done and squared away, we will be posting a request for proposals and a submission process online. I suspect that will be mid-March that you'll see that open call.
Okay, great. Yeah, I know there will be a ton of people are looking for this kind of opportunities, and I'm sure they will all apply for the program. It's very exciting.
I look forward to seeing all the new proposals. The residency program was put on hold for about 2 years. So we're very excited to rehouse it and start it up again. It's one of my favorite parts of my job. So we're really excited about it.
Yeah, it's great. What you mentioned about this recent move and the Kress collective. And maybe you can talk a little bit more about this recent move and the building itself. It's a big historic building, correct?
It is. There are Kress buildings all over the country.
Yeah.
They were a five and dime store originally, and there are two in Tampa. We are in the smaller one in Ybor City. There is one in downtown Tampa, and sometimes people get a little confused about that. But this building, I believe, was built in the 30s. I could be wrong. I think it was the early 30s, and it was a five and dime. Sometime, I think, in the 50s or the 60s, the building next door to it was acquired, and so it's two buildings really. It's the Kress and the Kress Annex, and they're attached on the interior, which is really interesting. And I guess it was the U.S. government, it was U.S. Customs, and I think immigration offices were in this building since 1992. And so the general public has not been in the building since then. And when it was acquired by our landlord, his goal was to activate it with the arts to start to create. It's one piece of the puzzle of creating a renaissance of the arts in Ybor City. And so the space was made available to us in stages. We moved into the second floor of the Kress Annex first, where we have our small project space, alongside Quaid Gallery and Parachute Gallery and the Department of Contemporary Art, Tampa, Florida, Drift Gallery, which is our independent curator space. And it also houses a micro cinema that seats 38 people, and they've been doing programming since October. Everybody's been doing programming since October. It's been very exciting. It's been very exciting. We recently, I guess it was November. It's all been a blur. It's happened very fast. In November, we gained access to the second floor of the Kress, where Tempus has their main gallery. Jenny Carey has Gratis Studio. Dave Decker has a photography studio. And there are 3 literary arts groups on the second floor as well. Kitchen Table Literary Arts, Heard 'em Say Teen Literary Arts, and Grow House Literary Arts are also on the second floor with us. And I believe there are 2 more independent artist studios that are opening on the second floor as well. So it's a really exciting space. There, as you know, there is the large flex space where Camp will be performing on the 16th. So that's been a really exciting space for us as well. I believe tonight is the premiere of and the Tampa City Ballet. I'm sorry.
Yes.
The Tampa City Ballet is on the second floor with us as well. And they have their debut event in the building this evening.
Yeah, it's great, really. Everything about arts happening over there. Did you invite some of the organizations to join you in the building, or it's just happened?
I did have the luxury of inviting everyone in the annex to
Oh,
open at the same time with us. So those 4 other galleries in the micro cinema are there by design. They're all people that have worked together in some capacity in the past. And then, when the Kress side of the second floor opened up, I started reaching out to other organizations and artists in the community, but it is listed. So there are studios available on the 3rd floor that, the listing is there and public, and we have a lot of people moving in.
yeah, it's great. I think it's gonna be deep platform for collaboration. I can see that happening, working together, all this arts organization there. So do you have any plan in terms of working together with this? I mean, you already worked with micro cinema, but with other organizations.
I hope so. I think that the very basic level of collaboration that we've already started working on is having all of our doors open at the same time. For example, when the Tampa City Ballet has their event tonight, many of the galleries and studios in the building will be open for their guests to visit us and to move through the building and to share our programming. But I do suspect that there will be a greater level of collaboration. Hopefully we'll see a cross-pollination between the visual and performing arts and the visual and literary arts as well. There are some projects in our future programming. We're currently in the infancy of curating an exhibition on the lost cemeteries in Tampa, and we'll be reaching out to literary artists and possibly composers for that as well. So that'll be one of the first really big collaborative efforts among our partners in the building.
Yeah, that's great. We are certainly very excited to have our events there, and it's I think it's such a meaningful time also for us. That's we're gonna be there in March.
It's just around the corner.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So we will have actually one word premiere on the 16th, and it's called Sandbox Dreams with the installation music, and it also involves a little bit of theater. So we're super excited to use the space. We'll start actually from the ground floor, playing music, and reach all the way up to the second floor for the installation piece. So yeah.
We're all very curious about that process.
Yeah, there's a lot to work out, but we actually don't know about this particular piece, Sandbox Dreams, yet because it's being created. So we'll all get to know what the piece is like on the day.
That's great.
Yeah, yeah. It's very exciting, and it involves a lot of different arts actually, because it's installation, but also it has a little bit of theater. There's a dancer, and of course there's music. So it has everything, and I think it's a perfect piece for the Kress collective, and it's definitely perfect piece for us to open the festival. So really, thank you so much for opening up the space for us.
It's our pleasure. We were looking forward to it. It's a really unique project, and we're very happy to be housing the debut for the whole. Is it a week of events?
It's actually a 3 days event. We host 4 concerts in different locations. But yeah, this is the opening night.
It's great. Opening night is a nail biter, but is also something to really celebrate.
Yes, it is. So yeah. Is there anything else you want to talk about the Tempus, or again about this arts collective at Kress building, and of course art scene in general, I guess art scene in Tampa?
I think that it's just worth mentioning that there's been a real push, like I said earlier, there's been a real push for the renaissance of really creating or reaching critical mass in Ybor City with the arts. But I think it's important to note that there are a lot of artists that have been here since the 70s, really, and that they never went away. That a lot of people were pushed out because of development and different directions that the city has gone, but that there are people here that have been really working towards this for a very long time. So we're very pleased and honored to be here alongside those that really took root and were able to survive. And we feel very privileged to be part of this new you know, effort to create this synergy among all of the artists in the community. There's another big building opening in the next year called Meat Yard Studios, which will be affordable studio spaces for artists. And we're really hoping that we'll see a few more workshop spaces and maybe some more venues for music and theater here as well. So I just want to mention how pleased we are that it's happening and that we have so many wonderful people in the community to collaborate with. I think we're on the precipice of something really grand.
Great. Yeah. Well, thank you again so much. And I think we can wrap up the interview now. And really looking forward to the opening night. And we usually listen to one or two pieces. So I think we will make our exit listening to one of the pieces on the March 16th event. Songs of Bright Orange Notes by composer Gian Liberatore, performed here by Duo Cortona.
Like a song of bright-eyed notes, they bronze their
Support us by donating. You can go to our website, www.contemporaryartmusicproject.org, and simply click the donate button. Help us continue our podcast, festival, and other exciting projects. Thank you for listening. I'll see you next time.